So, how's everyone doing? After 12, 14 hours after the wall ride heard around the world. Doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. I've seen it probably more than 50 times, and every single time I watch it, I'm still amazed by what I just saw. I mean, let's just play it again. Ross Chastain does the absolutely unthinkable. Wall rides, gains 5 positions to go from out of the championship 4 to knocking out Denny Hamlin to make it into the top 4 by 4 points, and will join Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, and Joe Logano to fight for a championship next Sunday in Phoenix. And the reaction, we're going to talk about the reaction from that incident and also the future about incidents like that in NASCAR. First of all, the incident itself has been heard around the world. You're seeing people across all different types of racing come together to talk about this event, as well as people that know nothing about NASCAR absolutely being blown away by what took place. You're seeing numerous people from IndyCar like Pato O'Ward, Jack Harvey, Simon Pagenaud, Will Power, and many more, all talking about the incident. You're even seeing people from Formula One that are talking about it. Even Fernando Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo themselves talking about it. Fernando Alonso saying one of the best things he's seen in motor racing 2022. Absolutely amazing to see the reaction from it. NBC's video on Twitter has over 6 million views, which for a NASCAR, anything NASCAR related, to get that many views is unbelievable. Not only that, SportsCenter, remember, they don't care about NASCAR. They barely say anything about NASCAR, yet they put it in their top 10 plays of the day. Absolutely amazing to see the response from it. And it's really good response. I mean, I can't remember a time where NASCAR received this much positive attention in a mainstream landscape. When you look about it, any time NASCAR is involved in mainstream news is always something to do with politics and or drivers nearly getting killed, with Newman at Daytona in 2020, the whole thing with the noose and Confederate flag and Trump. Then you had even a few years before that with Brian France, the CEO of NASCAR. I think the last time NASCAR got so much attention in a good way from a mainstream media standpoint was probably 2013 when Danica Patrick won the pole for the Daytona 500. I can't think of another time where NASCAR received this much. I mean, they were trending worldwide, both NASCAR and Ross Chastain trending worldwide on Twitter. NBC's highlights of the finish is also trending on YouTube. Number 4 at the time of this recording, trending on YouTube. It is unbelievable. Chastain's following grew astronomically after this incident, and overall, so much hype and attention is now on NASCAR. And NASCAR, when you think about it, this month has not been a good month for NASCAR. They've had so many bad things come up left, right, and center that they started out the year with so much momentum, and it seemed as though they were going to end off on such a low note. And now with this, and this is positive attention. I know there's still some people that think what happened was silly and ridiculous. A lot of people found it very entertaining, awesome, cool, just a lot of positive sayings about what Ross Chastain did. So we should thank Chastain because he gave NASCAR so much momentum to close out the season on a high note with the championship, and a lot of momentum to next year in the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, February of 2023. So NASCAR's got a lot on their plate in terms of momentum thanks to Ross Chastain. But now the question is going to be, of course, well, this is incredible for NASCAR. What happened? Absolutely amazing. Even my roommate is even talking about the incident, and he doesn't care about NASCAR. Even he was talking about the incident. Even people that I met on UCF campus, they're talking about the incident. That's how big this is. You're having people that don't care about NASCAR, all of a sudden they're talking about it now. But like I said, this is a great thing for the sport. However, what is going to be the response for future references? Now, if you're the drivers, like Joe Logano, for example, he thinks while the move is spectacular, it should be outlawed.
As spectacular as it was, and as much as it worked, the problem is now the box is open. Right now, every Xfinity race, every truck race, every cup race, no matter the track, this wall riding is going to be a play. That's not good. That's not good. I mean, it was awesome. It was cool. I mean, it happened for the first time. There's no rule against it. There needs to be a rule against this one because it's. I don't know if it's you want the whole field riding a wall coming to the checker flag. I don't know if it's for one the safest thing for the driver or the fans. Right when you got a car right up against the wall hauling the mail like that. Right. What if that catch fence, the gate wasn't closed all the way, or what if it bent and it caught his car? Like, yeah, that's a big big risk that Ross is willing to take, and God bless him. I mean, that's awesome. But
however, if you're someone like Larry Mack, you don't think it should be outlawed.
What happened yesterday, regardless if it worked or not, is pushing this sport forward. People, that could only happen in NASCAR. It couldn't happen. It might could happen at the local Saturday night short track race, but it couldn't happen in any form of motorsports. And everybody, hardcore, casual, maybe tune in once in a while, are talking about it this morning. And that kid, he didn't shortcut the track. He didn't wreck nobody. He didn't bring a caution out. He destroyed his race car. But that shows passion. And anybody that faults him for that, and shame on NASCAR, if they are even considering coming up with a rule, forbid them. That would be just ripping us apart if they come up with a rule that's. What are you going to say? You can't get against a wall? Hey, what is the rule going to be, for Pete's sake?
Here's where I stand on this. While I think it's something that it should be glorified, like we should say this was an awesome moment, it should not be replicated. I look at this similar, and I saw this on Twitter, a similar incident kind of like with Jeff Gordon in 1998 when they brought that T-Rex car, the most dominant car in NASCAR modern history. That car was legal. You know, it wasn't disqualified. It didn't break any rules. That car was legal, but it was so good that NASCAR told them, don't bring that car back. It's legal, but don't bring it back. Good what you did, but don't bring it back. Make a new car. I look at this as a similar situation. While it was amazing what Ross Chastain did, I feel like NASCAR is going to influence the drivers. Hey, maybe don't do this anymore. Because, I mean, think about it. It's amazing on one side, but if you have 7, 8 drivers doing this now, then it just looks stupid. It looks silly. Not only that, it also can be very dangerous. Remember, in turn 4, there's a wall that opens and closes to allow haulers to go in and out of the racetrack. Luckily, nothing happened with Ross Chastain, but there have been numerous situations like what we saw at Bristol in 1990 and 2002, where they hit that barrier that opens and closes, and it destroys the car. If even a millimeter in and out could go bad, it could have ended very badly for Ross Chastain. Now, if you take that and have 7 cars behind him, you could create a very, very bad, maybe even potentially deadly situation, because, I mean, they could stack up on each other. One could get in the air, and with fans nearby, it could create a very bad situation. So it's a move that was amazing. I don't think it needs to be replicated. Now, I understand that this move has been done many times, but this is the only time it's actually worked. Gregson did it at Iowa, I believe, a few years ago in the Truck Series. Kansas with Carl Edwards, 2008. Larson at Darlington did this. It's happened numerous times, but I think the situation is very different because Martinsville is really the only track, maybe New Hampshire, that is the only time you can actually make that move work. Concerning Martinsville, it's very tight corners. It's not like Iowa or Kansas where the walls are very long and very sweeping corners. Martinsville, quick cuts. An example I can use is when Dale Earnhardt, where he cut through the corners at Riverside, I think in the late 80s. It's a move that, while it was awesome at the time because there were no rules at that moment in time, it's not something that should be a reoccurring theme. You know, if you have drivers that just do it over and over and over and over again, especially when you know that it works now, because with this next gen car, it's now much more durable. It can handle hits like that. More than likely, you're going to see numerous drivers be encouraged to do the same thing. Oh, if I'm 4 seconds behind, I can just ride the wall and boom, I'm up to their bumper. I mean, Chastain was in 10th place, 4 seconds behind, and came out of it 2 seconds behind the leader in 5th place. I'm pretty sure he could do that the entire lap. Just go full throttle the entire lap, make up all this ground, and become the leader if there was one more lap. I do believe that's a possibility. It could have happened. It's a move that we should be praising. I'm not saying we should be, bringing it down, acting like, that was a stupid move. Absolutely not. This was a fantastic move that Chastain made. However, it's a move that cannot be replicated, or else it's just going to create chaos, an uncontrollable chaos, goofiness in a way that just doesn't make the sport look good. If you have numerous drivers do it every single time, I'd much rather take, hard-nosed, fought-out battles, drivers nose to tail, beating and banging, bumping and bumper racing, rather than just a driver taking the easy road and just riding the wall. It was cool at first, but it's just something I don't think can be replicated again. One thing though I will say though that this laminates that the NASCAR playoffs will be here for eternity. What Ross Chastain did, because look at the exposure it got. The only reason why Chastain even did this is because of the playoffs. The playoffs was built on Game 7 moments, exactly like what Ross Chastain did. Without the playoffs, Chastain would have settled for 10th. But because of it, we got what we got, and NASCAR got worldwide media attention because of it. So because of that, the NASCAR playoffs are going to stay probably for eternity, and we're just going to have to deal with that. But yeah, overall, I think this move, while we should celebrate it, it was a fantastic move and a moment in history that I don't think we're ever going to see again for a very long time. It's a move that I don't think should be replicated, and I do think that NASCAR should enlist some type of restriction from it, from a safety and integrity standpoint. It was cool at first, but again, when you have it over and over and over, and you have numerous drivers doing it now, not just one, when you have numerous 4, 5, 6 drivers doing it, it just makes it look silly. And the more cars you have on the racetrack doing that, the higher the chances you're risking for something dangerous to potentially occur.